Along with other initiatives, the programme saw London's murder rate fall from 200 to 125 people per year. That meant 75 fewer victims and 75 fewer sets of bereaved families and friends. The programme was later extended to the rest of the UK, to Europe and beyond, with Ray a key part of its development. Another case was the ritual murder of a little boy whose body was found floating in the River Thames in 2001. Ray's contribution to the investigation springs to mind because he proved himself to be a true team player, perhaps reflecting his days as a keen sportsman. He worked closely with the police in what proved to be a particularly difficult case. The case affected us all. We had what we thought was an unidentifiable young child, mutilated and thrown into the Thames. No family or community members were asking questions, and we had minimal evidence to go on, beyond what could be gleaned from his small torso and a pair of shorts. Within a few months, senior police officers were reporting that this case was not yielding any suspects, that the victim could not be identified, and that other cases were coming in that were putting us under pressure and needed to be investigated. One senior officer directed that the case should be closed. I wasn't having that. We had to try our best. I set Ray and the senior investigating officer, SIO, Will O'Reilly, the challenge of obtaining as much forensic evidence as possible. To support them in this task, more than 60 forensic experts from the UK and beyond got together at a weekend conference at Bramshill Police Staff College. It was a conference like no other. The gloves were off, brains were engaged, and everyone was encouraged to shout out any ideas, however far-fetched, different or bizarre they were. Such an unusual murder required an unusual approach. From the weekend conference and the team's incredible work throughout, groundbreaking developments were made in using the isotopic analysis of bones. This has gone on to be used in many other cases. Another case that owes a lot to Ray's pioneering forensic work is Operation Minstead, the investigation into a predatory gerontophile who burgled and sexually assaulted more than 100 elderly people in South London, Surrey and Kent over almost 2 decades. To help solve the case, we used Ray and his forensic team's pioneering and progressive work on familial DNA. There is no doubt that Ray was considered by the SIOs as a saviour who, quite frankly, helped them to solve some difficult cases that without his input would not have been brought before the courts. I trust that you enjoy the audiobook and also recognise Ray for what he deserves. Well done, Ray, and thank you from the people of London and beyond. Andy B., Queen's Police Medal, former Commander, Metropolitan Police Service. Wherever he steps, whatever he touches, whatever he leaves, even unconsciously, will serve as a silent witness against him. Not only his fingerprints or his footprints, but his hair, the fibres from his clothes, the glass he breaks, the tool mark he leaves, the paint he scratches, the blood or semen he deposits or collects. All of these and more bear mute witness against him. This is evidence that does not forget. It is not confused by the excitement of the moment. It is not absent because human witnesses are. It is factual evidence. Physical evidence cannot be wrong. It cannot perjure itself. It cannot be wholly absent. Only human failure to find it, study and understand it can diminish its value. Locard's exchange principle, as explained by criminologist Paul L. Kirk. Prologue. This is the story of a working-class kid from southeast London who happened to land the best job in the world. For almost 2 decades, I helped investigate some of the UK's most high-profile crimes, from the murders of Sarah Payne and Billy Joe Jenkins to London's 7/7 and 21...